Hello, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The January 6th committee, the final public hearing until the fall, has presented damning new evidence that the former US President Donald Trump waited 3 hours to call off the violent mob and publicly condemn the unfolding insurrection at the US Capitol last year. Here's more in this next report.
On Capitol Hill, the January 6th House Select Committee returns to prime time.
President Trump did not fail to act. He chose not to act.
Zeroing in on 187 minutes. That's the window of time between former President Donald Trump telling supporters to go to the Capitol and the time he tells them to go home.
President Trump sat in his dining room and watched the attack on television while his senior-most staff, closest advisors, and family members begged him to do what is expected of any American president.
Representatives Adam Kinzinger and Elaine Luria led Thursday's presentation, laying out in minute-by-minute detail how they say the president failed to act while the U.S. Capitol was under attack.
Yeah, you're the commander-in-chief. You got an assault going on the Capitol of the United States of America. And there's nothing. No call, nothing, zero.
And releasing never-before-seen video of President Trump attempting to record an address to the nation on the day after the riot.
But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results.
Thank you.
Testifying before the committee, Matthew Pottinger, a former Trump Deputy National Security Council advisor, as well as former Trump Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Matthews. Both resigned in the wake of January 6.
I simply didn't want to be associated with the events that were unfolding on the Capitol.
And I've seen the impact that his words have on his supporters. They truly latch on to every word and every tweet that he says. And so I think that in that moment, for him to tweet out the message about Mike Pence, it was him pouring gasoline on the fire.
Republican Vice Chair of the committee, Representative Liz Cheney, says the panel will spend August pursuing emerging information before convening more public hearings in September.
Doors have opened, new subpoenas have been issued, and the dam has begun to break.
Well, joining me now from New York for more insight, journalist Albert Lewitton is on the line for us. Albert, thanks for your time today. So several days of hearings in the U.S. What have the committee members mostly been focusing on over the last few days?
So the last few days, Sarah, thanks again for having me over. For the last few days, they've been focusing on two things. And the first one is how close was Vice President Pence to lethal danger? They showed maps of the Capitol, and they showed just how close it was, how close the mob was from getting the Secret Service and to the vice president, to the point where the Secret Service agents are heard on radio calling their families to say goodbye. I mean, this is something that has never been seen before in American history. And the second thing they were looking at was the inaction of the president during this time. There's been a lot of reports, and it's actually been testimony, that the president was in the dining room of the Oval Office, just sitting, watching television, watching it unfold. And so those two things were the things that they were focusing on the past couple of days.
And so, as we know, Albert, the next hearing is due in September. So what are the expectations, if you're aware of, for that hearing, and also what might unfold for that one as well?
Well, that's the thing. They haven't said. They haven't even given a teaser. What they have been able to tell people, and they told it last night, was that many officials in the Trump administration have come forward since the beginning of the hearings and have said that they have information that they want to share with the committee. So they'll be taking the next few months trying to go through that information and to see who will be put up in front of the September hearings. When the hearings first started, they weren't expecting anyone from the administration to participate. Meanwhile, as you saw yesterday, two officials of the administration did come forward, and some others in the past have come forward as well. I mean, has this moved the needle? It really hasn't, in the sense that like Trump supporters believe that that this was an unfortunate incident. Those who are anti-Trump will say, you see, this is an example of what went wrong, and he needs to be held accountable for it. I mean, this will be a very interesting situation in the next few months to determine what happens next.
What about what's in store for Trump going forward? What's next for him?
Well, what's next for him is that he is still the kingmaker. There's still political candidates running for office that are seeking his endorsement. Just today, he put out a post saying that, I had an election stolen from me. Our country, the USA, has gone to hell. Am I supposed to be happy? So his supporters are still there. He has teased, he has said that like there is a chance that he might run for president in 2024, but he won't make that public until the midterm elections November 8th. So this is something that it still hangs in the balance here. And now the interesting question here, and this is the part that all the political analysts are saying, that will any of these testimonies, will the final report that's given by Congress then be referred to the Justice Department, and will the Attorney General take action? Could he actually be held charged with sedition, conspiracy, any of those things that's never been done before for a president? I mean, these are very big questions that'll happen in the next few months.
Thank you so much, Albert Lewitton, with all that insight, joining us from New York. Thank you so much.